everyone, and welcome to Jammin Jukebox Radio Show. I'm your host, DJ Delta Dawn, and so glad to be here with you. You know what? It's Friday Eve, folks. I mean, tomorrow is Friday. Who out there is glad it's Friday? Well, I'll just say I'm happy it's Friday, and the weekend is upon us almost. So if you've had a tough week, hey, hang on just a little longer. It's getting here. I want to welcome everyone tonight. You're in for a treat. We've got a great band on, and you're just going to absolutely love them. I stumbled across these guys on Twitter, checked out their music, and I was just blown away by their sound. They are undoubtedly, hands down, one of my favorite new bands for 2013. And they really are like, they should be on mainstream radio. And I know that there's a lot of great indies out there, and I say that a lot about a lot of them because that's how good the music is. But these guys, hands down, are phenomenal. And tonight we're going to be speaking with them in just a moment. But to give you a little background on them, they were born with the intent of creating music based on instinct and experimentation. Boy, am I glad they did that. It's good stuff. And they don't live by the rule of structured assembly. They have numerous influences such as Radiohead, The Roots, Coldplay, Perfect Circle, The Beatles, Depeche Mode. I mean, the list goes on and on. But they have a sound that is unique and different and is definitely their own. And some people might call it alternative. Some people might call it pop. Some people even might call it contemporary. But it has groove. It has melody. And you can definitely tell these guys pour all they've got into their music. And they've just released a brand new EP called The Glow, and it is absolutely off the chain hot. I love it. So I would love to welcome to the show tonight Michael and Mo from In Air. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hi, how are you?
We're great.
How are you doing?
Well, I'm great because I'm finally getting to talk to you guys, and I've been anxiously waiting because you guys are just awesome. And I meant what I said in the intro. I get a lot of music in almost daily, but every now and again a band comes along like yourself that I just go crazy for. I mean, you guys really are good, and so I really am honored and happy and excited that you're here tonight on our show. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much. You're far too kind.
Well, I do sincerely mean it. I'm really glad I kind of came across you guys on social media. Boy, am I glad, because when I heard your music initially, I had to it was one of those things I was like, let me back that up and listen to it again, because I was sitting there going, why are these guys not signed and why are they not on mainstream radio? I mean, that is really what I was saying to myself. I'm like, why am I getting their music? I should be buying it, on a major record, company or something because it's that good. So I guess, to get started, talk a little bit about how In Air came to be.
Well, that's a long and sordid history, and I'd hate to bore you with the details. But really, Mo and I hooked up 3 or 4 years ago, and I was actually living in Arizona, and he was living in California, and so we would just kind of exchange things through email, like ideas and stuff, when we would add on to each other's stuff, and realized we had a real chemistry, and ended up coming out here to California. And, we, for lack of a better phrase, we fell in love with each other musically. And we just had a real synergy about, he had strengths in all of my weaknesses, and I had strengths in some of his weaknesses. And so the combination has really, I feel like, been, kind of a blessed union, I guess. And then we met Anthony, our drummer, and we've been through a couple of bass players. Haven't quite found somebody to fit there, but we haven't let it stop us, and so here we are now.
And the rest, they say, is history. And I'm very glad that you guys found each other, however you found each other, or however you want to call it, because it is a great pairing, and you all sound very good together. You definitely can tell you click, and you do have that chemistry. And, you know, there are a lot of bands out there, and a lot of good bands. But every once and again, a band like yourself comes along, and you can just tell from sound. You know, it's kind of like when you see a band live and the band at the end of the night says, you know, we were spot on tonight. I mean, we were really connecting and we played the hell out of a show, you know. And that's the way it comes across in your music. When I listened to it, I was like, man, these guys really are tight as a band. I mean, they definitely, it's like you guys have been playing together for a lot longer than you say you've been together. And that's magical, because that just can't be, you can't just get together and play and expect that to happen. I mean, that really is a unique thing, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think that given the amount of talent that's out there that hasn't been found, it really pushes us to strive for something greater, because, I mean, like you say, we are very unknown band, but there are so many bands out there that have 10 times the talent that we do that aren't just ever discovered, and I think that knowing that just inspires us to try to elevate ourselves even further.
Mhm. Well, let's talk about some of these musical influences that you guys have, because your music, I love the sound. I mean, your sound, it's pop, it's rock. It's like I was describing in the intro. I mean, it's a little bit of everything. You're definitely not boxed into one genre, which I love, because that really does help your creative side in creating the music that you want. But talk a little bit about some of those influences that kind of helped, you know, you guys get the sound that you have.
Well, it's different because, I mean, we all came together with kind of different backgrounds. You know, Mike came with a very rock, classic rock feel on the guitar, and I grew up listening to a lot of stuff. I mean, even like underground hip hop and R&B, and then our drummer Anthony was very, very into the hardcore like metal scene at some point in his early drumming career. So we've kind of found the even ground on all of those things for us to all be happy, and for us to all, like, it's individualized yet cohesive at the same time. So it's somehow, I don't know how it works, but it did somehow, at least in our opinion.
Well, I can say from a listener perspective, when I listened to your music initially, and since I've continued to repeatedly listen to it, I almost sound like a groupie instead of a radio host. But seriously, it's like, you know, I'm hearing a little bit of different, you know, genre sounds, and it's great because the blend is awesome, and it really just, you know, it helps give you a unique sound that's apart from the norm of what we do typically here on mainstream radio, or even in pop rock music now. Everything is so rote these days in music. And unless you're, you know, I'm convinced unless you're in the indie music scene, you do not have that creative flexibility. A lot of artists have lost that because, you know, record labels now are kind of dictating, and society is dictating what they want to hear. So a lot gets lost to the talent and the creativity side of a lot of artists out there. So with you guys, you know, you've been able to pull something off that we don't get to hear every day, which I think is just phenomenal.
Thank you very much. We try very hard. There's lots of time and effort in our garage, sounding like a crap pretty much until it comes out good at some point.
Well, look, as long as it comes out good on the record, that's really all that matters, right?
Yeah, there's lots of trial and error, I promise.
Well, now I have to ask this question because I ask bands this a lot, but how did you come up with the name In Air, and what does it mean exactly?
You know, we actually started out with another band name, and it really gave the wrong connotation of what we were about. I guess we had a perspective of it, and upon first hearing it, a person would have a different perspective. And so we really knew that we needed to change it. It was originally Nobody Gets Killed. And so we really assessed where we wanted to go with our music, and, we loved the ability to experiment and to bring in a lot of different influences. And so we really felt like everything when we were writing was up in the air. And we really felt like our sound needed to be, for lack of a better term, fresh. And so we kind of came up with the idea of in air. And so we felt like it really kind of represented our sound and our style and everything. So.
Yeah, and I think it fits perfectly with your sound and your style. Now I have to ask, which one of you sings lead on the songs?
That would be Mo. You don't want to hear me.
Well, Mo does a great job, and I love his voice and the way he sounds on the songs. And I love music for the instrumentation, but if someone has a really good voice that fits a particular sound, it just makes a song 10 times better. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm so drawn to your music, because it's just like everything about it is just perfect. I mean, it's really good, as I said before. Well, talk a little bit about this album, this EP that you guys have just released, The Glow, and talk about how it came to be, because I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, every song on there, as I was trying to decide what song I was going to play tonight, I was like, I'm going to have to play two. I mean, I can't narrow down a favorite. They're all equally good. And how did it all come together for you?
Well, to be perfectly honest, we probably should have called that EP a giant pain in the butt. It was our first kind of semi-professional project, and you work with some people and they seem like they're really going to work out really well, and in the end they don't. We had some of that, and we ended up having to switch producers and stuff like that. So it was a lot of drama, but throughout it all, we learned a lot about music, about ourselves, and it was a huge growing experience for us. And it's actually called The Glow because it presents an image of a moth striving towards light, and the idea that it will either struggle towards that light its entire life and die trying, or it will reach that light and essentially destroy itself upon reaching it. And we kind of felt like this was almost what this EP was going to do to us. We were really fortunate at the end to hook up with the producer that we're working with now, and we feel like the end product was worth all of the heartache and all of the time and everything. So we're really pleased to be here sharing it with you today.
Oh yeah, well, I'm glad you are, because and I'm glad it's out, because people need to hear it, and I can assure you that here on our show. And on our weekly show, Indie Artist Showcase, we will definitely be playing a lot of your stuff just to get it out there, because it needs to be heard. It's that good. And anybody that knows me and knows anything about the show knows that when I stumble across a great band like yourselves, I will play the heck out of the music because it's my favorite, so I like to keep playing it. And, but yeah, you guys have done a great job. And you've got that out now. The Glow is out. So, as you're moving forward now, what's going on with the band now? Are you playing shows? Are you working on new music? What's happening?
Well, we actually just finished recording 5 more songs. With the same producer that helped us finish the Glow. His name's Chris Eck. He's a really, really great guy and great producer. But we just finished that, and we actually were just listening to some pre-mixes today before getting on the phone with you, and everything's starting to sound really, really good. So that will probably be out. I don't want to give an exact date or even probably an estimation, because who knows how most likely be a couple months maybe before those songs are
Mm-hmm.
out. So now that we're all done doing that, we're going to start hitting shows around here in Orange County and LA pretty hard. And even sometimes when we don't have anything else to do, we'll go out to the beach and just sit there with acoustics and stuff and just have a good old time.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Now, you're out in L.A. How hard is it? You know, because L.A., it seems like the music scenes in our country are L.A. and Nashville. Those are the two big areas, draws for, you know, aspiring artists and bands. And how difficult has it been for you guys? I can't imagine it to be difficult at all, but being that there's so much competition out there in L.A., how hard is it for you to get into some of the big places and play?
It doesn't seem like it's too difficult to get in as long as you have the money to do so. A lot of LA is so overwhelmed with bands and whatnot. Venues have kind of taken advantage in the artists. I mean, from a business standpoint, it's awesome for them, but a lot of the places now are pay to play, and that's one of the things that we've tried to kind of veer away from, just because it can get so hot. It's really hard. There's just so many bands out here. It's really hard to capture people's attention, and to the point where you don't have to do that kind of stuff anymore, you know? So we're still trying to figure out that portion of our musical career, is the whole marketing aspect to gain as many fans as we can without having to do that pay-to-play stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad you shared that. Thank you. I had no idea. I knew that the L.A. music scene was so entrenched with artists, you know, but I had no idea that the clubs out there, to some degree, possibly not all of them, but the ones you would want to play in are making, you know, probably a killing off of starving artists, for lack of a better way to put it. I mean, you guys, you know, you're out there trying to make music, and great music at that, and you don't have a major record label backing you to send you around the world touring and making all this money. I mean, everything you're doing is self-sustaining, and the very thought that you would have to pay to go in and play, that a club wouldn't just recognize that you're talented and you need to be promoted and to just get you in there and give you that opportunity to be heard, it's just appalling to me. I mean, it's appalling to me as a host. And it makes me want to, even more than I already do, promote you guys and all the indie bands out there and indie artists who are struggling to just be heard more beyond what I have, because that is just, that's insane. And like you say, from a business standpoint for the clubs, it's very brilliant. But it's not, you know, unless you guys pay to get in, it's not doing you guys any favors, you know. And and the way I see it, and that's just wrong. I mean, and I can understand it probably does weed out a lot of, you know, bands, but it also leaves a lot of great bands out of it who just realistically cannot afford to just do that venue after venue after venue, you know?
Yeah, that's what it does, is it weeds out the poor bands, not the untalented bands.
Mhm.
And
yeah.
I say that's one thing that we really appreciate about, you know, what you're doing and what these indie music stations are doing, is they're filling the void that used to be occupied by the promoters and by the venues in getting the names of great bands out there, so that, you know, fans can know where to support these artists and keep them going, because that's what we desperately need right now.
Yeah, most definitely. And I love the fact that the indie music world is really starting to be noticed beyond what it has been, thanks to all, you know, the different independent radio stations and promoters that are out there just working so hard for all the indie artists as a whole. And honestly, if I were, you know, part of a major record label or a major, you know, company like that, I would be shaking in my boots, because as social media has evolved, it has made it, you know, very possible for artists who, you know, want to get their music out there to be able to do so in a lot of different ways. And I think that's really what has helped propel it to the point that it is. And, these big execs at these record labels, I hope they're taking notice because they're missing out on some great opportunities to sign some really talented people because, you guys are just immensely talented and like so many indies out there because you're playing, you're giving your heart and soul to your music and you're doing it based on, just for mere love and passion for it. And I think the music in this realm is so much better than anything we can hear on mainstream radio because that is so overly produced and, so much of it sounds so much alike that it just gets really monotonous. I nothing to take away from those artists or anything, but there's so much more that is offered in the indie world, so much variety and diversity that you just can't find anywhere else, really.
Absolutely.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a really interesting landscape out there right now because, on the one hand, you do have a platform to put yourself out there, but there again, it's so hard to differentiate yourself because there are so many other bands, incredibly talented and incredibly not talented that you're competing with that even in the worldwide interwebs, it can be hard to get your voice heard. So there again, we certainly appreciate people like you that take the time to, go through and kind of filter out all that noise and recognize the talent and put it out there for people. It's certainly what this industry needs now.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And, I just had a lifelong love for music, period. And, I get music. There's not a day that goes by now since I've had the show that I don't open up my email and there's, at least 3 to 10, depending on the day, emails just waiting. Somebody has sent me their music. And, and not all of it is radio playable. I'll just put that out there. There's more good music than there is not good music. And it just goes to show just how much immense talent there is that exists that, like I said, mainstream radio is really missing out on. And thank goodness we have social media and we have these abilities now for artists, to promote their music and to have it be heard. And they're drawing fan bases without, all this promotional efforts of major record labels and things of that nature, which I think is really cool because even those people who buy music are sitting up and taking notice now, and they're realizing that there's more to music than just what you're hearing on your favorite local radio station, which I think is really cool. Because the fans really, fans of these indie bands are die hard. And once if you're an artist in this world and you gain a fan, you got a fan for life. It's not something that ebbs and flows like, in other mediums. It really is a loyalty there. And so I think it's awesome the way the fans really get behind, indie artists and help promote them and their music and believe in what they're doing, which is really a huge thing for indie artists everywhere.
Absolutely.
So I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask, so in the near immediate future, what are you guys doing? What do you have planned?
Let's see. Saturday we have practice. Actually, August 22nd, we have a show in connection with the Artisan Music Award, which is ran by our friend Mikey J. Doing the artist spotlight at the Joint in LA, which we're really excited about. That'll be kind of our first show after kind of taking a hiatus with all this recording and everything. But we're really excited to, we've been contacting venues and trying to drum up some more shows for the end of the summer. So hopefully some of those will pan out and we'll be, playing out quite a bit in the coming months. And then, like we said, Sorry.
Okay. No, it's okay. It's fine. I was just going to say, if you guys ever get to the East Coast, which I know you will one of these days, because the more your music gets heard, the more people are going to buy it, and the more you're going to be able to do this. But if you ever get to the East Coast, you got to come to North Carolina. Or if I ever get to the West Coast, I'll come check out one of your shows. But we'd love to see you guys live. I think it would be a phenomenal show.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let me make sure I heard you correctly. If we're ever in North Carolina, we can come stay with you, and you'll help us get some shows.
Well, now where I live, I don't have a great big place, but hey, I've got plenty of floor space. If I don't have enough bed space, we got floor space. So yeah, we'll figure it out. So yeah, I mean, I think it would be. Well, if nothing else, I could take you guys out for a meal. We've got some great places to eat here in the South, and nothing like Southern cooking. So you would enjoy it, I assure you.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of, I think, our ultimate goals is we've been playing the Southern California music scene for a couple of years now, and it's really, it's just difficult to drum up a lot of support. It's kind of an odd thing, and that's one of the biggest things we really want to do is make it out to some other regions and expose our music to some other people. So we will definitely put North Carolina on the top of our list.
Oh, yes, please do. And I can assure you we will do what we can here to help your music be heard. You guys definitely are a band that needs to be heard and known, and well known, I might add. And with time, I think that will happen. I have no doubt. But we'll do everything in our power here to just promote and play the heck out of your music. So no problem with that. So we're glad to do any and everything we can to get you guys out there and, and just let people hear what I've heard, which is some really good music.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Well, it has been wonderful speaking with you guys. It's love to have you back anytime to catch up, to find out what you guys are up to, what, any new music you put out, future EPs. We'd love to have you back on to talk about that, play your music and this and that. So please bear that in mind and just stay in touch, and we're happy to promote you any way that we can.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you
so much again. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you guys. We appreciate it as well. Thanks for making great music.
No problem.
Well, you guys have a wonderful night and a great weekend, and I'm sure we will be in touch with you very soon.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Oh, we've been speaking with Mo and Michael from In Air. Great guys. I love this band, and I listen to a lot of music. And it's seldom that I say I love a band. They're good. I mean, they are that good. And normally we wrap after 30 minutes, but I'm going to go a little longer tonight because I want to play a couple of these songs. They're just awesome, and they are my new favorite band. And I've got some favorites that I've, just fallen in love with since I started this radio show. But for 2013, they are the top of the list. So I want to play a couple of tunes right now by them. This is a cut. Both of these are off of their new EP called The Glow. And by the way, before I do that, if you want to check out In Air, you can go to their website, weareinair.com, and you can find out all the information about them. You can also follow them on Twitter, In Air Music, and they also are on Facebook, In Air Music as well, to stay up with what they're doing at all times. And they're a great band. I mean, you are going to love them. So without further ado, I want to play a couple of tracks off of their latest EP. The first one is going to be called Flip Side, and then that will be followed by Blind and Naked. And so enjoy. before that, you heard from Flipside, and those are both cuts off of their brand new EP called The Glow. And I'm telling you, if you go to their website, weareinair.com, you can go to the link that says The Glow, and you can download the songs. You can purchase the album for $3.49, and, I mean, that's a deal because this music is, I mean, it's awesome. I hope you enjoyed that, and you can listen to all the music on the album right there on their website. And I'm telling you, you'll buy it all because the other two songs, Seven Seas and Wasted, are just as good. And, you know, it's not often you get albums these days where every single song on the album is just they're all equally good, where you could just listen to all of them and enjoy them. So when you have a band that puts out an album or an EP and every single song is enjoyable, you could listen to it over and over again, you know that they put all they've got, heart and soul, into their album to make it the best it can be. And that's why I know that In Air is going to have a great career ahead of them because they've really got it going on. So support these guys. They deserve it, and they've earned the right to have your support. They really are good. So with that is going to wrap our show for this evening. We are going to be off for the next few nights, but we will be back here next week. And our first interview next week, mark your calendars, Tuesday, August 13th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We will have Face the King. They return, and they also have a brand new EP out that I'm actually just crazy for, and it's called The Sound. And it is off the chain good. So if you're a big Face the King fan, you'll want to be here Tuesday, August 13th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll be taking your calls, and we'll be chatting with the band. So be sure and tune in for that. All right. That is going to wrap our show. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening tonight. If you're brand new to our program, welcome aboard. We're always glad to have new listeners, and we hope that you'll be back with us again soon. So enjoy your Friday. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here next Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. for Face the King. This is Jammin' Jukebox Radio Show. I'm your host, DJ Delta Dawn. Have a great night, all. Peace.
Hey, you. Yeah, you, the one listening to this. Go to Stitcher.com and download the free app. It's a free app that lets you listen to our show 24/7, 365, anytime you'd like. You don't ever have to miss another episode again. And you can listen to thousands more shows and stations just like ours. So go now. Download it to your mobile devices, your Androids, your iPhones, your iPads, whatever you got. It's Stitcher.com, and it's free. Thanks for listening to tonight's show. You can connect with Jammin' Jukebox Radio Show on Twitter at Jammin' Jukebox or on Facebook at Jammin' Jukebox Radio Show. Check out our website at thejamminjukebox.com. Also, follow us on Blog Talk, where you will be always up to date on every episode as we add it. Each episode is available for immediate download upon the conclusion of each broadcast, and as always, on iTunes. Thank you for joining us.